Who is your favourite darts player? If you said Luke Littler, trust me, you would not be alone. And guess what? Target Darts have been with Luke right from the very beginning. Before he was a world champion, Luke was just like you, a kid who loved throwing darts and having fun. And Target were there from day one, helping him on his journey all the way to the top. Now you can play like Luke too. Target has loads of awesome Luke Littler gear. From the Nuke magnetic dartboard that's perfect for your first throws, to the Littler Generation 1, the actual darts used to win the 2025 World Championships. And if you want to make your game even cooler, check out Target's On-Me Auto scoring system. It does all the scoring for you, so you can just focus on throwing and having fun. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the next world champion. Head to www.target-darts.co.uk to find out more.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Styles McKenzie helping you make those rooms sing. Today's style tip. When it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild, like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Arr, fierce. This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Welcome to the Football for Kids podcast with me, Darren Rees, and welcome to the last episode in this triple episode series on the Versus episodes. We've had Kylian Mbappe versus Erling Haaland, we've had Barca versus Real, and now one which is warming up nicely, and that is Lamine Yamal versus Estevao. And remember, if you would like exclusive episodes, some early releases, and to be able to listen to every episode in the back catalogue completely ad-free, then please consider becoming a subscriber either on Apple Podcast subscription or via Patreon. Just search Football for Kids Patreon or click on the link in the description of this episode. Right then, let's get into it, shall we? Our last episode in this triple header of the Versus episodes. You see, football history moves in waves. First it was Pele, then Maradona, then for nearly 20 years it was Lionel Messi and this bloke called Cristiano Ronaldo. You might have heard of those two. Two giants fighting for every goal, every trophy and every headline. But everything has to end at some point. And as Messi and Ronaldo's career slowed down, football asks a question. Who's next? And here we are in January 2026. The answers are getting louder every week. There's two teenage superstars from two different footballing worlds who have one potential massive future rivalry. One from Barcelona and Spain, there's a guy called Lamine Yamal. You've probably heard of him. The Masia Academy wizard he is, all touch, vision and football brainpower. Then from Brazil and Chelsea, meet Estevão Willian, a Brazilian street football genius with tricks, speed and fearless swagger. These are not just young talents anymore, they are shaping matches, winning trophies and making grown defenders panic. This episode is the ultimate Lamine Yamal versus Estevão Willian showdown. Where they came from, how they play, who is faster, smarter, deadlier on the pitch, and why the road to the 2026 World Cup might belong to one of them. Estevão Willian was born on the 24th of April in 2007 in a Brazilian city called Franca. Far away from the famous beaches and the football streets of Rio it is. His dad is called Ivo and is very dedicated to the church. That meant that Estevão grew up in a calm, disciplined, family-focused home. While some Brazilian footballers become famous for their parties and their tricks, Estevao became famous for being humble, quiet, super hard working and naturally very gifted. He once said that he plays football to honour his family and his faith. Coaches say he's calm, focused and mature way beyond his years. Then something pretty incredible happened. In 2018, which wasn't that long ago, he was just 10 years old. Estevao signed a sponsorship deal with Nike, one of the biggest sporting giants on the globe. That made him the youngest Brazilian ever to sign with the sportswear giant. Younger than Neymar, younger than Rodrigo, younger than anybody else before. People started calling him Messino, which meant Little Messi, because the ball seemed to be stuck to his left foot. But Estevao was not a massive fan of a nickname. He wanted to have his own identity. He wanted to be known simply as Estevao. From a quiet city, a calm home, and huge pressure at 10 years old, the Brazilian wonder kid was born. Now let's talk Lamine Yamal. He was born on the 13th of July in the same year as Estevao, 2007. As I record this today, they're both currently 18 years old. Lamine Yamal was born in Spain, but his real story begins in a neighbourhood called Rocafonda. It's a seaside town near Barcelona. Rocafonda is a working class community where families from all over the world live side by side. Lamine Yamal grew up surrounded by different languages, cultures and stories, and football was one thing that brought everyone together, like it does all over the planet, every minute of every day. His dad is from Morocco, his mum is from Equatorial Guinea. That makes Lamine Yamal the face of modern Spain. And then there is his famous celebration. When Lamine scores, you might notice that he does something with his fingers. He makes 304. Those are the last three numbers of his Rocafonda postcode, 08304. It's his way of saying, I've never forgotten where I've come from, and I never will. His grandmother, Fatima, moved from Morocco to Spain in 1990, working long jobs and saving money to bring her family over. She helped build a new life from nothing. When Lamine offered to buy her a big fancy house, she said no thanks. She wanted to stay where he'd grown up, the place that made him. So when Lamine steps onto a huge stadium pitch with millions watching around the world, he is playing for 304, for his family, for his community, and for everyone who dreams of something bigger. When Lamine Yamal was just 7 years old, he joined the La Masia, FC Barcelona's famous football academy. I've done an episode on that as well. La Masia is not just a training ground, it's like a football science lab. While Estevao learned football in the tough streets, playing street games, Yamal was being shaped by coaches, tactic boards and technical drills designed to make players think faster and everyone else try and keep up with them. Barcelona knew Yamal was special straight away. They pushed him up through the age groups quickly, and he was often playing against boys 2 or 3 years older than him. That meant he could not just be faster or stronger, he had to be smarter too. He learned how to see passes before anyone else, how to move into space before defenders even realised the space was there, how to control the ball perfectly with one touch. By the time he reached Barcelona's first team, at 15 years old, his football brain was already like a veteran professional. He had fast feet, fast thinking, he was a chess master in football boots. That is the La Masia magic, that is what it develops. So one from the streets of Brazil and one from the most famous academy on earth. We know where they came from, now let's have a look at what they're built like, because footballers are not just brains and boots, let's face it, they are engines too. Estevao is about 1.78 metres tall, which is roughly 5'10". He is lean, light and springy, but do not be fooled because he is strong. Coaches say he has a low centre of gravity, which means when big defenders bump into him, he barely shifts. He just bounces away and keeps running, normally with the ball tied to his feet. His superpower is his burst. He can go from standing still to full speed in just a couple of steps. In Brazil, they call players like this liso, meaning slippery, like trying to grab a bar of soap. And get this, he's just been clocked at running at around 28 to 29 kilometers per hour, often with the ball at his feet, not when he hasn't got the ball attached to him. That's one of the things which makes him scary. He does not slow down to dribble, he dribbles at full speed. Lamine Yamal is slightly taller, about 5'11", As a teenager, Barcelona helped him get stronger so he could survive against the older boys and eventually the grown men. Over his mid-teenage years, he added noticeable muscle through training and conditioning. Yamal's speed is different. He's not just explosive, he's faster over long distances. In European matches, he's been recorded running at over 30 km per hour, with some reports even higher. That means once he gets into space, defenders struggle to catch him. He is also a runner. Lamine Yamal is known to cover 10 to 11 kilometers in a match, pressing, defending, attacking again and again. So while Estevao is about fireworks, Yamal seems to run like someone who's never going to stop. Estevao is lightning burst, got that Brazil dribbling magic, and he is a chaos creator. Yamal can sprint forever, has high stamina, a tactical machine, and seems to have an engine which doesn't stop. They're two different players, built in similar ways but still very different. Estevao's game is simple: get the ball, beat your defender and cause panic. People say the ball looks like it's genuinely glued to his feet or on a bit of fishing line. He does not kick it past defenders and race them, he keeps it super close, he tricks them, he waits for them to make a mistake and boom, he takes them out. Defenders panic, they tackle and they foul him. That means free kicks and penalties for his team. At Chelsea, his coaches give him the ball and say, go and hurt them. Not physically hurt them, he attacks the box, he shoots, he crosses and he goes straight at goal. And an example of the goal which he scored against Crystal Palace on the weekend just gone is a great example of just that. He's unpredictable, he's vertical, he's unbelievably dangerous. Yamal is a bit of an architect, he's different, he's a football chess player. Instead of always sprinting at defenders, he waits, he slows the game down to his own pace, and in Spain they call this la pausa. It means knowing the perfect moment to pass, shoot or dribble. He drops deep to build up the attacks, he finds his teammates with clever passes, he loves curling crosses to the far post, perfectly to a striker's head. At Barcelona, he's not just a winger, he's a playmaker on the wing. He builds the attack like an architect building a city. Estevao is the 1v1 dribble master. Direct, fast and explosive. Goal threats galore. He's a chaos creator on tap. Yamal is about vision, that passing genius instinct which he's got. Controlling the tempo and building the attacks, one storm at a time. He's like the conductor on the pitch. You might be wondering if these two have played on the same pitch. You might already know that they have. The first time as senior players was in March 2024. Spain played Brazil in Madrid. Yamal was the star that day. He won a penalty, set up a goal and even got a standing ovation from the Bernabeu, Real Madrid stadium. Estevao was still rising in Brazil at that time, and on this night Lamine Yamal showed that he had a head start on the world stage. And then there was the Chelsea versus Barcelona game, which came in November 2025. Chelsea versus Barcelona in the world famous Champions League. Yamal versus Estevao, the duel of the Wonder Kids. Barcelona went down to 10 men that night and the game opened up. Estevao exploded. He scored a stunning goal, beating defenders with a burst of speed and smashing the ball into the roof of the net. He was electric, completely unstoppable. Yamal had a quieter night. He was marked tightly and couldn't get going. Suddenly, the world realised something big. Yamal shined in structure and control, Estevao shined in the chaos and the transition. Two superpowers, two different battlefields, and the rivalry was officially starting to feel real. Football is a story that never really seems to end. It just changes the characters, the heroes, the drama, the narrative. Once the debate was Pelé versus Maradona, then it was Messi versus Ronaldo, and here we are in 2026 with two 18-year-olds. Lamine Yamal versus Estevao. The chess master versus the lightning bolt. The system versus the spark. And remember, if you know someone who loves football just as much as you do, then please tell them about the Football for Kids podcast. And whether you're playing football soon, watching it on the telly or pitch side, I hope that you enjoy the game. See you next time.